Wait, should I hold it? I guess here. Okay, hi everybody. I'm new to YouTube. My name's Corey. I've been actually wanting to do this video for a long time. It's just timing hasn't been right. I've gone through a lot of stuff. Plus I wanted to have my makeup done and all that, and that doesn't happen. I thought I had a doctor's appointment today. That didn't happen. So anyway, as the title says it, I didn't know I was pregnant. It happens. So, like many of you know, that show that comes on that I didn't know I was pregnant. I used to watch it all the time and I used to be like, bullshit, right? Like, I used to believe maybe like the bigger girls because I was like, they're a little bigger, so maybe like the fat, hides it or whatever. But I used to just call it out bullshit. So, my story is just one of those things. Like, it happens. I was watching a lot of videos here that people who are like, I have HIV and they tell their story, or like the people that go through miscarriages and they're really brave. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and put my story. If they can do that, I can go ahead and tell my story. Just so, I don't know if it would help anybody, but it happens. So you guys can know. So, at the time, when I found out I was pregnant, I was 8 months pregnant. That's when I found out. So at the time before that, I was just getting really sick. And now that I think back, there were signs and symptoms, but I didn't know then. Everyone in my house was getting sick. And I'm a really big girl, as you can see. Big girl. So I have the weakest immune system. So I actually thought that, I was like, oh, like, my mom was vomiting at the same time. Like, I thought it was flu since I'm always sick all the time. I was just like, oh, I'm getting sick. And then my dad got it. So I thought it was just going around. And since, like I said, my neighbors, I'm always the one getting sick. Why am I, So anyway, yeah. So I got sick. I didn't know. I had no morning sickness. Well, I did. I had morning sickness, but at night. But I thought it was the flu. I thought I was just sick. I was really sleepy and tired, but I thought I was just getting depressed again. I was like, oh, all I want to do is sleep. Like, forget eating, I just want to sleep. And when I've had the blues, when I feel down, that's how I get. I just want to sleep. I want to be sleeping right now. So, yeah. What else? I'm forgetting stuff. Well, anyway, I didn't take any prenatals or things like that. I only took them for like 10, 20 days or something like that. Anyway, so the story goes that I had a rash, actually. I had like a rash on my neck. I think it was like it's the ringworm, which sounds totally gross. It's not even a worm, but I had it from the little guinea pig that we have, a little munchie. And I actually went to a clinic, like a free clinic where my sister was working at the time, St. John's in Compton, ghetto. And so they do obviously they do routine urine tests. They always do that stuff. And even when I was in the room, I was joking about it that I called my friend because I had just seen my weight, and I was like, oh my God, I'm at my heaviest. Like, no wonder I can't find a boyfriend. Nobody loves me. Like, I'm so fucking fat, blah, 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 right? And my friend was like, I still love you, Corey. We were joking. I mean, never in my mind when they did the urine test did I think, they do the routine pregnancy test, right? Never did I think like, oh, I might be pregnant. Nothing like that. So, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just have to say, when I slept with the baby's father, we used a condom, and I took a Plan B. So I thought I was like foolproof. I've taken a Plan B before. It's done its job. And so in my mind, I was like, there's just no way. No way I can be pregnant. No way. So just to let you guys know, I don't know if you guys know, but now there's evidence that says that I think the Plan B is not effective. The Plan B pill, emergency contraceptive, is not effective for people that weigh over 160, which, yeah, I definitely am. And I didn't know that. Now it's coming out on like Cosmo and like health journals and things like that. But at the time, it's not on the box. It wasn't something that was known. So I think if I would have known that, I wouldn't have thought that it was like foolproof, where I was like, oh, there's no way. So I had a encounter with this person, and 8 months later. So going back to I'm getting ahead of myself. This video is like really fucked up. It's not turning out how I wanted it, but who cares? So I went to the doctor and they did like I said, I'm in the room and I'm talking, I'm joking or whatever. And he comes into the room and he's telling me like, so I'm thinking like, okay, so what's going on with my rash? What is it? Let me know what it is. I can't stand the itch. Like, it's really bad. It looks like a little circle. Did the aliens get me? What? So he comes in and he's like, oh, he's looking at my chart. He was such a dick. He has so much attitude. He was like, oh yeah, we did a routine pregnancy test and it came back positive. Congratulations. And I was like blindsided by the news, and I was just so upset, especially, and I really, really think that they should do this. So some of you do those change.org like petitions and stuff. Just give me credit for it, but I really think that we need to change that procedure where doctors say congratulations to a pregnant girl, because I was devastated. I was angry. And when I say angry, when I heard congratulations, I was about to hulk it. I was so angry. So I don't think that's right. I'm like, you don't know if the person wants to keep the baby, if this is the worst news that they're hearing. Like, there's worse things, but at that moment, like, my life crumbled for me. It was like, there's just no way. And I forgot to mention that I've always been the person that says, I never want kids. This has been always, I never ever wanted kids. I don't know about kids. I've never wanted kids. I have no, like, children was just one of those things that, like, it's not in my future. And it wasn't just like, oh, I'm saying it because I'm young, but no, I had no plans of having a child ever. So to say that this year has been hard, and this journey, it's been extremely hard. So, yeah, so I sat there and, my mom was waiting for me, and I was like, oh my God, like, how far along am I? And he tells me, oh, well, when did you miss your period? Like, I was like, I'm not a fucking idiot. If a missed period was the thing that tells me when I'm pregnant or whatever, like, I would know how far along I am. I'm not a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it would just, oh, that guy was such a fucking dick. But he was like, we need to schedule an ultrasound, blah, 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 blah. And just sent me home like nothing. And I remember I was trying to keep it together, and my mom was waiting outside for me. And she was like, what did they tell you? Because I was like ready to sob. And really, I was decided, like, I am getting an abortion. I'm going to abort this baby. And so after that, I made an appointment so I could know how far along I was. And I was like, I got to get rid of this baby. And all I would do was sob and sob and sob. And my sister found out because she heard me crying. And she actually thought I had like HIV or something, Like, she was like, what did they tell you? Like, tell me, like, I'm getting scared, So I actually had to tell everybody because she caught me crying. And I think I lied to her. I said, oh, I'm so fat. That's why I'm crying. And, like, she believed me. She's like, it's okay, I'm gaining weight too. And then I felt terrible because I was like, such a liar. Yeah, because I was going to get rid of the baby. I was like, I'm going to get rid of this baby. I'm going to do it somehow. So then finally, I think I had to come clean because, my sister worked there. So she was going to find out. They were going to be like, oh, I didn't know your sister's pregnant. And then she was going to be like, what, So I told them, and it was hard. I told my mom I wanted an abortion, and she told me she didn't want me to die or something to happen to me. And my sister just, she was very like, let's get things done. Call whoever you need to call. Like, they were so supportive. So anyway, I go down there to get my ultrasound done, and that day, like, that was December 6th when I found out I was pregnant. December 10th, I went in to see how far along the baby was so that I can have an abortion. And they tell me he's 8 months. He's 8 months. It's 8 months along, and it's a boy. So I was like, Like, legally, there was no way I could get rid of this baby. And I know this might be hard for somebody to hear, people that have miscarriages and that really, really want a child, but you guys have no idea how terrible this was for me. Like, I was like, I don't have anything to offer my baby, you know? And then it was just hard. Like, I told the guy, and the guy was like, that's not my baby. I'm not going to take a paternity test. I try to understand him and think, like, if 8 months later some girl showed up, like, saying, I'm pregnant with your baby, like, I try to think, like, yeah, it must have been hard to believe, but I'm always like, call me out on it. You should have called me out on it. I even told him, I'm like, let's take a paternity test and I'll pay for it. It's really expensive, so I'll pay for it. We'll keep it out of the courts. And he was like, no, he was such a bastard about it, but so that's that. And anyway, for all those like pro-lifers and stuff like that, you guys care about like life when it's, cells in the petri dish, but the moment a person has a baby, they don't care. Like, you guys don't care how much I'm struggling with my child. How most times I'm like out of money. I don't have diapers for him. Like, once that baby's born, you guys can give a shit. Like, they didn't kill the baby. It's not a sin anymore. Whatever the fuck you guys think. But what about when that baby's already here? You're not going to support my child. It's hard, and I knew it was going to be hard. And then everything after that was like, I had to have a C-section. I couldn't breastfeed. I had to disconnect. It was just like a month or two that I had to get baby ready and read all I could about being a mom. Tell everybody. Be embarrassed when they were like, so sad, and I couldn't say, I had no boyfriend. It was just a one-night stand. So I've gone through a lot. But anyway, the whole point of this video is that it happens. First things first. When you're super heavy like this, your periods are super irregular. Like, my periods, I could go months and months and miss them, like even 4 to 6 months, and it didn't mean pregnancy. So that's how I didn't know before anybody judges, because I've had a lot of people who are like, oh, don't you have a monthly visitor that lets you guys know when you're pregnant or not? Like, don't say that to somebody that tells you, like, they didn't know they were pregnant. They didn't know. Second, look at my stomach. I look pregnant now. I'm not pregnant, but I look pregnant now. So when you're this fucking heavy, it's like, oh, fat or pregnant. Like, I didn't know I was pregnant. So that's that. Second, wait, what else? Yeah, my stomach didn't pop out like heavy, like that whole, like, I look pregnant, but it's still soft, but that's like, get hard like that until like that week after, when they were like, oh yeah, when he's 8 months and all that, that's when it really popped up. So yeah, it happens. And when I did tell people, they were like, that's what you get. Karma's a bitch. Because I used to talk so much shit about that show. I used to be like, oh, that's bullshit. I didn't know I was pregnant. Oh, that's such a fucking lie. Like, how could these people not know? So yeah, that's my story. I'm going to try to redo it. My dad's talking. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to redo it. I'm going to hear this again. And it's not coming out how I want it to, but I don't know how to edit. My video doesn't have smileys or anything like that. I don't know about followers, subscribers. I don't know about anything. I'm new to YouTube, so I'm just going to post it. And I don't think that this is a video that would help somebody, but I just want people to know that show, it's true. I'm glad I didn't give birth in the restroom, because I would have been like in labor pains, thinking it was like appendicitis or something. But luckily I had that stupid rash. So that's that. That's my story. Bye.